Carney, Breitbart economics and finance editor and co-author of the Breitbart Business Digest, comes out daily. He's got a cult following. And David Bahnsen, who's got his own cult, managing partner of the Bahnsen Group and author of There's No Free Lunch. Gentlemen, fire away. John Carney, you first. What do you think? I mean, it's kind of boring report today, but go ahead. What do we read into it?
I will say that it's not good political news for Joe Biden because the two most politically salient pieces of inflation, which is food, food went up month over month for the first time in months, really, and the highest since January. And gasoline prices are going up. Those are the two prices that matter the most to households because they're the prices they encounter the most. And for everybody but the very rich, they make up a huge portion of household budgets.
That's a good point, David.
Well, there's no question.
This is like, it's not over till it's over. And I don't know how over. I mean, over, I think, means 2% for everything. Core, top line. But it's a bit confusing with respect to the Federal Reserve and the economy, is it not?
It's very confusing, and the far bigger political vulnerability for the Biden administration is what the Fed is doing to supposedly counter inflation. Their belief that they have to destroy jobs is what is a difficult thing for them to deal with. So far, at least the Biden administration is hiding behind, well, there's low unemployment, which there is. But these Phillips curvers don't understand that good employment is not what caused inflation, and getting more unemployment is not going to cure it. The energy side is the real issue here because I have really never believed that the Fed and the Biden administration were as responsible for some of the post-COVID inflation, the shutdowns and all that stuff. The energy policy, who else are you supposed to blame? They've just refused to let American fossil fuel industry get back on track. That leads to inadequate production. And therefore, you end up with higher prices.
Higher than necessary prices. You're absolutely right. I am interested. I don't want to obsess about it on this segment, but the unemployment rate has remained low. I mean, it was 5%, 4%, 3.5%, while the inflation rate came down. And actually, the unemployment rate was low while the inflation rate went up, which puts the lie to the Phillips curve trade-off between unemployment and inflation. It's a good thing to note. We'll tackle that in another segment. But I do think that's important. Can I just go overseas? All right, get in our airplanes if we can. China, deflation, both the consumer prices and producer prices in China are falling. And what do you think that means for our prices and our economy? Their economy, by the way, is terrible. No matter how much money they may give Joe Biden's funds, that's not helping them at all.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to stop that. They're going to have to find a way to stop that. And what's going to happen is when China's economy picks up, we're already at $84 a barrel for oil. And as you said, gasoline prices headed to $4. That's with China being very slow. If China does start to stimulate its economy to fight this deflation, that's going to end up pushing the price of oil up higher, pushing the price of gasoline up higher, contributing to inflation here.
But right now, I mean, it's a total deflationary story. Does that stuff, I mean, despite the politics and the trade barriers, we still do a lot of business with China. So if their prices are falling, David, does that bring our prices down?
Look at Japan.
I don't know. I'm just...
No, but the answer is yes. I mean, we have a 30-year global precedent called Japan. And when they exported their deflation to the rest of the world, it put downward pressure on global growth, including the U.S. You're talking about Biden's growth rate's 1.3%. Summers calls it secular stagnation. It was 1.6% for 15 years. Half of our post-World War II average. That is largely deflation being exported, hurts the United States. What is China going to do to stimulate, to counter their deflation? They're going to try to use fiscal and monetary stimulus like every other dumb country has done in the last 50 years.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't work.
I like it. The unemployment rate for kids in China is 21%, 23%. So I'm just asking you, John Carney, when is the revolution coming?
Right, well, it's coming soon.
If the young aren't working, it's a problem.
They're very scared to have that many young people unemployed, and if it goes up, that's a big problem for China.
It's like 21 or 23%.
Right, creating enough jobs for the Chinese population is the #1 thing the communists need to do. They're not doing it. The youth unemployment is a big problem. I think they are going to try to throw money at it. The problem is they don't understand economics at all. So they have no clue what to do. They're not Keynesians. They're not Friedmanites. They're not supply-siders. They're communists. They really don't understand economics.
Joe Biden, big government socialist. Is that a little unfair? You can say it's unfair.
I would say that Biden understands economics better than Xi Jinping.
Oh, my God.
And that's saying a lot.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to process that. David Bahnsen, you're a banker. Bank stocks have had a really bad year. Last 6 months are down 23%. The Federal Reserve people now want to raise capital requirements again, which probably more regulation like that is the wrong idea. What you make of the bank story? There's a chart. I don't know if the chart explains it. In fact, the chart doesn't look like it explains it at all. But in the last 6 months, bank stocks are down 23%. That can't be good.
But here's the thing. J.P. Morgan's up. And the big bank stocks are up. So you have right now a dispersion among small and regional versus big banks. So it doesn't have the same leading economic indicator effect that normally would do.
Really? But this is for all banks. Well, with an inverted yield curve.
That's right. And so how are the banks making money with an inverted yield curve?
And deposit rates, I mean, they're having to pay more.
Because the big banks are drawing deposits from the little banks. The big banks are getting bigger. I thought Dodd-Frank was supposed to fix that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. But the point is, big banks are in a lot of other businesses.
That's right. They're diversified.
I think that's what gets them through all
That's right.
They can also, they already have these high capital requirements. The threat to saddle the medium-sized banks with the big bank capital requirements is just a gift to J.P. Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo.
And doesn't that, look, it's going to filter down. Isn't that going to cause a credit crunch with respect to the smaller banks and their smaller customers? That's my point.
Absolutely.
J.P. Morgan is not usually helping the new customer in Wichita,
right. Small
Kansas.
businesses is not the line of business of J.P. Morgan Chase. So, the Wall Street Journal made an excellent point today. When you raise capital requirements, because the way we do risk weighting, it pushes everybody into the same investment strategies, and that actually creates systemic risk rather than taking it away. And we're risking doing that with the medium-sized banks.
All right, we're going to leave it there. I am processing whether Joe Biden knows economics better than Xi Jinping or not. Very interesting question. David Bahnsen and John Carney. Thank you, gentlemen.